morning. How are you? I hope you're having a great day. You feel calm, you feel collected. But before we start, I do want to tell you it is 10 a.m. Puerto Vallarta time. It is Thursday, March 26th. And of course, you are at PVRN, Puerto Vallarta Real News. Happy to see you. I will say this is probably the day that I came the closest with not being on air. I mean, I was scrambling. I was so far behind. I was having some technical difficulties this morning. I was just really wondering if I was going to make it today. So I did, barely. Unfortunately, let's see. I see that my camera's not zooming like it's supposed to be, but oh well, we'll just be in this nice fixed box. Good morning, Sly. Nice to see you. Oh, there it goes. It just woke up. Oh, like me. So yeah, I got up this morning all ready for the news, and then I realized like two to three things were broken for the broadcast this morning. I don't know what happened per se, but for sure I was scrambling a bit. So if you see anything this morning that doesn't look right, or anything on the show doesn't sound right, hopefully my voice sounds okay, all that other good stuff, and the second screen goes, just realize I was barely here. Good morning, Brad. Good to see you again. Buenos dias. All right, we've got some good news, bad news, average news today. So let's jump right in. I know we'll have a lot of our regular viewers coming, but if you're new, this is Puerto Vallarta Real News, PVRN. I'm Brent Lane, and I'm happy to see you. Good morning, Christopher Anderson. Chris Anderson of the Anderson Report in the house as usual. Okay, let's get to it. So, hey, so first of all, before I jump in, oh, thanks, Laura. That feedback is actually super important. Thank you. Like, do I look good? That's very important. But do I sound good? Even more important. So thanks for that. I do appreciate when I get feedback. All right. So first of all, just want to tell everybody, like as you may know, I also run the Gen Expats group, and this is breaking news. We just announced our next event. If you're in Puerto Vallarta on April the 10th, we got an outdoor DJ party. If you're a member of Gen Expats PV, let me turn off this. There we go. Now you can see it. If you're a member of Gen Expats PV, you get a little discount, which is awesome. So get on over there, get your code for the event, but I'll be talking more about this as we get closer. I think we got plenty of time for this, but just giving you one heads up. There's going to be a fun 80s, 90s music event. I think we all kind of love 80s, 90s music. I mean, what's not to love? Good morning, Jolene. Good morning, Mindy. I love to see y'all. Only 15 more days to you fly into Puerto Vallarta. That is exciting. That's exciting for everybody. I can't wait to hear reports on how the airport is, how your travel is. We see so much. And so that event's going to be at Rancho Madre Tierra. So if you go to the Gen Expat site, there's a Google pin there. Use that Google pin because that's going to tell you where the event is at. But it's not very far from the airport, I don't think. I don't think Dan McNeil's on. He's actually the host of this one. But I'll get you more info as we get there. We've got a few weeks till we get to that event. Also, I want to tell you all, I have launched sponsorship. I'm hoping that it doesn't feel overwhelming to anybody. This is something that is a test, but it's really going to help me invest into the future of this program. There's some stuff I really want to get that's going to make my job easier and make the program look a little better, and also bring some attention to some vendors I really like. Like for me, sponsorship is not about just signing anybody up. It's really about finding those what I think are some of the best people out there, best businesses out there. People also give back to the community. So, you know, you might see some of that in the scroll bar down here, along with still getting the weather and the exchange rate and all of that. And then I'm going to have a brand new end of show credits screen. Please stay till the end if you can, just to check it out and give me feedback. I really appreciate it. And you're welcome, Mindy. Again, I never want sponsors to be the highlight of this show. It's kind of in the background. It's kind of at the end, but they're very important, and they'll only stay my sponsors if we say that we saw them on the show. So if you do use any of them, I appreciate that. Also, we've got breaking news. I don't get lots of breaking news here, so I'm going to be sharing something that came to me literally. You can see I'm multitasking over here. Literally as I was about to go on air, which added to the whole oh my gosh, you know, why is my message coming up again? 10 glares. Okay, so with that, I will have some breaking news in the entertainment section today. So first off, a bit of a downer story. This is not a great story, but it's an update to something that the local news has been a part of and watching. Um, this is up in San Pancho, and the mothers up there are denouncing the incomplete bone recovery. So on the news here, we've had, there's a lot of people that have been missing for a while and children. And so the Madres Buscadoras de Nayarit is raising a red flag regarding Semafo's recent handling of skeletal remains in San Pancho. So that's up in Valle de Banderas for those up in the north part of our show. According to the group, the recovery process was rushed and incomplete, leaving behind crucial evidence and fragments that are vital for the identification of these missing loved ones. They're demanding that authorities return to the site to conduct a thorough and respectful evacuation, which these mothers are absolutely due. And it's emphasizing that every fragment is a treasure and a piece of their loved one. So tensions are a bit high up there as the collective group accuses the forensic services of negligence, claiming that the lack of professional rigor further traumatizes the families who are already suffering through the agony of the disappearance. So local residents and advocates are calling for increased transparency and better coordination between state investigators and the search groups who often do the heavy lifting in these sites. So we're going to continue to monitor this developing story as it comes because it is Puerto Vallarta Real News, and we'll see what the prosecutor's office has to say at that time. So sorry to start you off with a bit of a downer story, but hopefully it becomes something more positive for these mothers looking for, resolution. Okay, so with that, we'll have a quick coffee cam, not a positive one, but the need for coffee is still here. All right. Moving on to the news, we have utility stories. We always have utility stories. So this is a water shutoff that I just saw this morning that was announced for today. So if you currently don't have water, well, let me hear about it in the comments. But Save Puerto Vallarta has issued a notice for a scheduled water cutoff today. Now it's going to affect 3 specific neighborhoods. So if you're in the Nautilus, San Nicolas, and the Villa Las Flores neighborhoods, the service interruption is due to essential maintenance and connection works in the local infrastructure there. So crews are expected to be on site throughout the day, and they're hoping service returns to normal by late afternoon or even local evening as the technical repairs are completed. So residents in these areas are encouraged to store enough water. It might already be too late. Sorry about that. I did not get notice of this yesterday. But like I said, we do a lot of emergency preparedness in our house when we find out water is going off. And my wife's taught me a lot of great tricks. Like, I should know this one: fill the big bucket in your house. It's a great way to flush your toilet. If you've got a pool and you live in a condo, you can go fill from that. So just kind of be prepared, have extra water on hand. If you got an RO filter, also another great way to have an extra water supply in the house. Okay. So, taking a quick break for coffee. Sometimes you just got to take a breath, y'all. Cheers to all of you, my viewers. Thanks for tuning in today. If I don't say thank you enough during the episode, thank you. Okay, moving on. I do want to say we've got more utility news. All right, so now we've got electrical failures that are leaving 26 Vallarta colonies without water or electricity. Also tricky. So if you're out there right now and you don't have any electricity, good morning, Daniel. I know you bring the electricity. We just talked about the event first thing this morning. So Dan McNeil is one of the DJs at the event and pretty much the guy that's hosting a lot of it. So welcome to the show, Dan. All right. So in the more utility news, a major power failure is happening at the Pozo Cinco extraction site. It's knocked out water service to 26 different neighborhoods and power. SafePal is reporting that the electrical issues, which began yesterday, have halted the pumps responsible for supplying a large portion of the city's residential network. Technicians have been working alongside CFE throughout last evening to try and get the wells and the tanks refilling. Repairs are still underway, and they're hoping that each of these 26 colonias can return to full water and power during the course of today as the lines repressurize. So impacted areas may include many of the city's upper Millie colonias and parts of the northern zone. So if you're currently without water, SafePal, of course, is asking you for patience while the system recovers, noting that once the power is fully restored, it may still take several hours for that water to reach you if you're in a higher elevation home. So if you're out of water today, if you're out of power today, my apologies. These things happen. Sometimes there's no update on that. You can comment, Lori, because I wouldn't be seeing it. How are you? So, hey, that's my cousin Lori, everybody. How cool is that from the US of A? You can comment because I see your comment. So, hey, we're interactive on this show, and sometimes it's family, sometimes it's friends, but I'm glad to see y'all here. All right, let's move in to entertainment and what's happening in the culture after a quick toast on the coffee can. Love it. All right, breaking news came in this morning, literally about, I don't know, a minute or two before I went on air. Oh, hey, I almost forgot to share something with you. Sometimes we just go in circles, but based on that last story, this came out. I know it says the 25th, but these are the colonias that are being affected by that water outage today due to the power. So just running back just a little bit. Thanks, Kirsten. Yeah, Kirsten's one of my personal friends. She might know I was a little stressed this morning, but hey, nobody knows what's happening behind the scenes but me. You're right. But I do tell you because we're all family here. That's how I feel. We're all friends and family here. A lot of you come here every single day. So I love that. So you feel like family and friends. And Lori is the family on today. So that's pretty awesome. All right, to the breaking news. Here we go. I've been teasing it enough. This came in this morning about 2 minutes before I started the show from my good friend, and a lot of you know her, Miss Gina Ray from Whiskey Kitchen. I don't think she's on right now, but she sent this just before I came on. So let me tell you what she sent me. So Whiskey Kitchen, we all know Whiskey Kitchen, or many of us know Whiskey Kitchen. We all don't know everything. But it's going to have its final day of service right after the Gina's birthday celebration, which is on the 29th of March. Now, before you panic, she sent this note to me. So actually what's happening is they're not closing down. What's going to happen is they're moving to a larger location with AC. What? I believe I'm breaking this story. If you saw it somewhere else, my apologies, but I literally got this like 5 minutes before I went on air. So she's going to be moving to a larger location, and she wrote me very quickly that said it's going to be located inside the Joint Boutique Hotel on Insurgentes in Zona Romantica. She and the entire team will be ready to service you again on April 3rd as long as construction plans all fall into place as planned. So a huge shout out to Gina and the team at Whiskey Kitchen. I'll leave this note up just for a second. But I know a lot of the viewers and a lot of people that live here just love Gina. She does a lot for the community and gives back a lot, and we give to her. She's got a great restaurant. I do my yearly event there every year for the anniversary of it because it was the location of my very first event for Gen X Pets. So hey, congratulations, Gina. Congratulations to the entire Whiskey Kitchen staff. That's huge for you guys. I love it. Yeah, Laura. Yeah, Chris. This is going to be a nice move for them, I think, and address a lot of the problems. And, that kind of stuff just happens. So thank you so much, Gina, for sending that to me just in time before the show. Maybe give me 10 minutes next time, but thank you so much. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll update and hopefully get down to the new location and have an event there soon. Okay, lastly, just an update to a story I had yesterday. Regarding my how. Do that on your own. Can you do my how? That's ZZ Top, y'all. You know it's ZZ Top. Let's hear it for ZZ Top. They're only down to 2 members now. I don't know if they filled. Like Chris, you're my resident music guy. How many people are playing in ZZ Top? Because I know they lost their third many years ago. I saw them with 3. And I don't know if they just went down to 2 or if they replaced that third. That would be good news to know. And I bet Chris Anderson's going to find out. He's a huge music guy. So let me tell you what we got going on here. So yesterday I announced the ZZ Top tour in Mexico, and I kind of teased it. I didn't really have prices, but today is the day that the exclusive Cinnabanamex pre-sale is live. And that started right when the show started. So if I got between you and your tickets, I'm sorry. But as of 10 a.m., it started. Tomorrow is going to be the general sale. Again, this is the first time in Guadalajara for 23 years. So let me tell you about it. So the date is going to be November 9th. I told you about this yesterday at the Auditorio Telmex Guadalajara. And it's their big one tour, the big one tour. So here's the breakdown on prices. It runs all the way from VIP floor at about almost 4,600 pesos down to like the green zone. There's a couple in between there, but I'm not going to list them all, which is about 2,500 pesos, all the way down to what's going to be your lowest price ticket at 700 pesos in the yellow zone. So how fun is that going to be? Once again, that's for ZZ Top Guadalajara. And hey, a great excuse to go out and do a weekend road trip. So Laura and I did this not that long ago, well, a little while ago. We went out to see the Killers and Franz Ferdinand in Guadalajara. So we just made a road trip of it, stayed a couple nights. So again, the pre-sale is right now. So if you needed to leave my show and go get your tickets, I get it. But if you can stick around to the end, that would be great because I'm about to premiere the new credits and sponsor ticker. And then again, I don't want to like say, look at that, look at that. But I put a lot of work into it. I'll be interested in what you think. So again, ZZ Top after Guadalajara, they're going to be out in Mexico City on November 10th and then Monterrey on November 13th. So we just about hit time. That's about the 16-minute mark. I try to keep the show at 15 minutes. So we're going to roll the show out today with the new sponsor credit scene. If you see any issues with it, I appreciate you watching the whole thing. Give me some feedback. It's not going to be perfect. It was quite a scramble. But hey, we have breaking news on ZZ Top. It's the 2 original, the new bassist. Thank you, Chris, of the Anderson Report. I love that. All right. Have a great one, everybody. Thanks so much for joining with feels like a frantic day on the show. Cheers to you for joining PVRN. Please hit the share button. Please, and please, please, please watch the sponsor screen that's about to show and give them some love and tell them PVRN sent you. Have a great day. See y'all tomorrow for Casual Friday.